All right, we're building a shell in Zig. We've actually knocked out quite a few things so far. As a friendly reminder, I don't know Zig very well, so I'm learning it as we go, which has been interesting to say the least. And so what we've done so far, we have printed a prompt. We've handled missing commands. So if you pass a command to the shell and we don't know what it is, we tell you that that command's not found. We've built a tiny little REPL, so you can handle multiple commands, in theory, an infinite number of commands, instead of it executing one and then shutting down. We've built a built-in command for exit. So exit handles exiting the process with a given status code. And now we're going to work on the echo built-in. So the echo is exactly what you see here. So it takes, the command is the word echo, and then everything passed after it is just echoed to the standard out. So here's an example of kind of what the test could look like. These values will change, so you can't hard code your program to do these things, which is probably for the best. But this is our task, so we're going to go ahead and get started with it, right? So I'll pull up Vim, we'll pull up main.zig, and here's kind of the code that we have so far for our other challenges. This code on line 4 is irrelevant because we've already commented that out, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. And so we have standard out, standard in, we get a writer and a reader, respectively. Here's our REPL. It's essentially just a while true loop. Until we handle the exit, it'll keep running. One of the first things we do is print a $sign. This is the prompt, so that's a requirement. We have a buffer that we allocate. We read until we get a new line from standard in and put it in that buffer. And then we get our user input from that by using the try keyword, I believe. We call split sequence to get our command and the rest. So we are essentially saying, give me the first one and then give me the rest. So the first one is the command, the rest are the args. And because of that, what we can do here is we can say standard.mem.equal. We are checking if two slices are equal. Slices of U8, because a string is a slice of U8. We have our command, and then we have the string literal exit. And if it is exit, we call handle exit. I like this pattern. We're going to continue with this pattern going forward. So again, I don't know Zig, so I don't know if else if is exactly what it sounds like. So I'm going to go to conditionals on this page. So there's an example of an if, an else, ternary, shortcut for if x, else. Oh, that's really nice. I was looking for an example of an else if, but maybe it is just the word else if. So we're going to try that. We're going to do another standard mem equal check. These are U8s, so we're going to check command against the word echo. And if it is echo, then we're going to call handle echo, which we have not built yet. And we're going to pass the args into handle echo. I think this one will be pretty quick because the echo command is not particularly complicated. So we get our args. We know that it is a const U8 slice. We don't need to return anything, so we're not going to return anything. And instead, we're going to call standard.io. We can call get standard out dot writer, and then dot print is comp time, so we probably want write. And we have bytes here, and bytes happen to be our args. I think it's going to yell at me because we're not handling an error here, because I believe write can throw an error. So what I'm going to do is we're going to find out. We'll start with a Zig build. Yeah, consider using try, catch, or if. So let's come back here. You should probably do really great error handling. That's generally good advice. In the spirit of solving this challenge, I'm just going to throw a try right here, and we'll see what happens. Oh, a function cannot return an error. So what we need to do here is indicate that this can return an error. And we'll Zig build again, and I think that means that I'll have to handle this somewhere else. Value of type uSize is ignored. Error union is ignored. So you know what? Maybe one thing we should do is look at error handling. Error management, errors. Okay, perfect. So it looks like we have error enumerations. We have, here's another enum. We have error unions using the bang operator. So either the value of my life is an error or a normal value. Okay, that makes sense. It could be any error or a U32. Okay, that makes sense. Return error unexpected. Catch error, you can switch on the types. Okay, switch. Specifically looking for maybe like try and catch in this case. And maybe they're farther up. Or maybe not. Try is a very handy shortcut for catch error, return error. Okay. Oh, it was in the same section. I just needed to read the bottom of it. Try is very handy. If some function fails, the current function stops and returns the error. So I think what we can probably do in our case is just bubble this error up, right? So if we look at our main method is also the same type. It is an error union with void, I guess is the correct term. So what we can do here is we can essentially try our handle echo. We can write quit, and in theory, we should be able to zig build this now. Value of usize is ignored on 32, so we'll pull up Vim. We'll go to 32. And I guess that this returns a... Let's try that. So it looks like it returns the size, U32, indicating probably the bytes written to the writer. I don't necessarily need that, so we can just try to ignore it. And I think that's how you would ignore it in Zig. We'll find out. Looks good. Let's go ahead and add this. Get commit, attempt, echo, command. Go ahead and push this up and let Codecrafters run our tests using the Turbo Test Runner. So again, there will be a link to Codecrafters in the video description if you haven't started doing this with me yet, or doing any of these with me. It doesn't have to be in Zig, doesn't even have to be the same challenge. Just as a friendly reminder, they have a very generous free tier that I used for a very long time. We'll fix this error in just a second. But they do have a paid plan too, and if you choose to use the paid plan and you sign up with my link, you'll save a little bit of money, and I'll get a little bit of money as a kickback, which is really nice for both of us. So keep that in mind. Even if you don't pay for it, I would love it if you signed up with my link, because it helps me also follow the people who are doing things on Codecrafters, and I love looking at other people's code too. Okay, so this is actually a really simple problem. We echo banana blueberry, and then our prompt is on the same line. Let's go ahead and fix this, and then we should be good to go with this slice of the challenge. So we are writing the args. I'm going to see if we have a write line method. Right. Zig writer. Standard out. What is the type of standard out? Yeah, I will say that one thing I've had some trouble with Zig has been identifying the types of things. Actually, this looks really nice, being able to just print the type of and have an idea of what the type is. So it's an IO writer. So Zig IO writer. And one of the things that I want to do is see, do we have a write line? We have a write all. Writer, okay, I don't see a Zig standard library. So there is write, there's print, write int, write struct. Okay, so we'll clean this up a little bit really quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this, And then we will pull this out, change this to the word writer. Const writer is equal to this. And we will also try writer.write a blank line. There's probably a cleaner way to do this in one. I guess in theory we could probably join the two, like the args and this value right here. Actually probably be the smart thing to do. So maybe one thing at a time. Let's see if this works. So we zig build, get status, get add, get commit, another attempt, get push. I'm going to let that run. Now while we're letting that run, what I want to do is look at zig, add to slice, append to a slice and zig. Append, add, okay, not finding anything there. Slice. Haven't needed allocators yet, thank the Lord. Slice, slices, okay, cool. That's not helpful at all. Loops work the same way over arrays or slices. Zig, standard, mem, append, just a guess. Let's look at the source. Append, add, address, free, some tests. Addresses, address space. Align backward. Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a way, right? Can't insert append. Zig append to slice. Yeah, I know, right? Standard. Oh, need to use a standard array list. Okay. That could be a fair amount of refactoring at this point. So we'll just continue with what we have for now, knowing that as I become more familiar with Zig, we should probably go back and clean that up and use the more correct solution. So if we look at this again, we can see that our stage is complete. So I'll go ahead and hit mark as complete. And then in the next video, we will tackle the type built in.